for Nigeria, newly independent and the world's most populous black nation. A new dawn broke in 1962 when the University of Lagos was established. And 56 years on, higher education has never remained the same. Like the Rock of Gibraltar, the University of Lagos continues to tower above its peers in the waters of West African higher education. With an array of faculty and administrators, the University of Lagos has carved a niche for itself as the university of first choice and the nation's pride. Welcome to the University of Lagos.
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 Welcome to the University of Lagos, the university of first choice and the nation's pride.
We welcome you with joy to the University of first choice. We are moving on to greater heights. The University of first choice, the nation's pride. Welcome to the University of Lagos. We welcome you with joy to the University of first choice. We are moving on to greater heights. The University of first choice, the nation's pride. Welcome to the University of Lagos. Welcome to the University of Lagos. Welcome to the University of
At inception, University of Lagos took off with 46 pioneering students in the Faculty of Law and 28 in the medical school. While students of the medical school had their first lectures on 3rd October 1962, those in commerce and law had theirs on 22nd October 1962. Today, the University of Lagos story is a radically different one, and of course in a very positive way. This is because the university's administrators have over the years committed themselves to an unwavering vision of perpetual transformation. Indeed, each administration has left Unilag better than it met it. From the tenure of Professor Enijoku, the university's pioneer vice-chancellor, successive administrations have sought to write their names in gold. Today, the university's 12th Vice-Chancellor, Professor Oluwatoyin Ogunipe, has unfolded a robust 5-year action plan.
Well, I'll start from teaching that what we are going to have is uncompromised standard for the university and also uncompromised research standard. We want to make sure that the research that will be carried out from this university will be one that will be relevant to the nation and one that can compete at the international level. And we want to groom students that can also compete locally and at the international level. We are going to lay more emphasis on networking with our colleagues in Nigeria and outside Nigeria. And also we are going to look at the issue of making our students to be able to compete with other colleagues outside the country. Like now we have our students who are competing with other colleagues globally through the e-platform. The University of Lagos is the only university that is doing that in Nigeria now. And also we are going to improve on our facility, the facility we have. for teaching. We are going to migrate to e-platform for teaching, and also for the registration of our students. What we used to do before is to go through the documents and do all those things through the manual platform. Now we have moved to the e-screening space, and that will improve on. We have some problems on that, but we will improve on that. Concerning our community service, we want to make sure that we have impact in surrounding community like Iwaya, Bariga, Makoko, all those areas surrounding the university. That is where we'll make sure that we bring in people in the Department of Sociology, Economics, Education, and then other relevant areas that can interact with the community around us.
Indeed, it was in a bid to show up the university's achievement profile that Council decided towards the end of the tenure of the immediate past Vice Chancellor to create the crucial post of Deputy Vice Chancellor of Development Services. The office of the Deputy Vice Chancellor of Development Services has been conceived to initiate and vigorously pursue international linkages and collaborations with prestigious universities across all continents, especially those engaged in cutting-edge research that contribute to improvement of the human condition while promoting the vital goal of ecological sustainability.
Our plan is that within the next 5 years, we should have colonized West Africa. So we shall be going there. But we're also working on the international front. So we plan to go out to market our university, to bring in collaborators to help us strengthen our areas of weakness, and then to collaborate even more in areas that we're strong. So I think you should all just keep looking at that space.
As with any other university, the human resource of University of Lagos is comprised by two categories of staff, academic and non-teaching. Needless to say, a high level of synergy is required between both categories for the university to function effectively and deliver on its promise as a true citadel of learning. The non-teaching members of staff largely belong to the registry, but of course, this unit also handles all of the administrative work that concerns the academic faculty. The University of Lagos, which is indeed a manifestation of order, structure, and government, the registry has always had a smooth working relationship with the entire body of academic faculty.
I will make bold to state that the University of Lagos Registry is one of the most ICT compliant registry, and in the last couple of years, maybe 5-6 years, the crop of administrators we now have are international quality. They can hold their level, and we've had one-stop registry operations, especially with the introduction of faculty administrative officers. A lot is happening, turning the university around.
We are building a new facility, which is the new library. And the new library has to take into cognizance all those things and benchmarks that we have globally, that we make it a place of engagement, not just a place where we sit down and read, a place of collaboration. Building a smarter library will hinge on funding, and in this kind of environment, we need to understand what I'll call information economies. And because information is highly expensive, I used to say, if it is free, even if it is free, somebody has to pay for it. If the government cannot do it alone, then many other people or stakeholders have to buy into it. How do we just equip that library, the new library, without getting funded? How do we ensure that we sustain running databases throughout the year? It's not just a matter of just subscribing this year, and in a short while, the subscription has expired. We're talking about having a seamless operation of library and information services.
There can be no doubt that the University of Lagos is truly a cosmopolitan institution which prides itself on diversity and inclusion based on merit. One manifestation of this is the tremendous power that faculty and administrators wield within the University of Lagos system.
All the faculties in the University of Lagos have actually held their own since inception. I would say that in any of the areas that we train and research in, we are probably the leading faculties. I can speak better of the Faculty of Law, and I would usually say that the legal community in Nigeria has substantially been dominated by those who have had to do with the Faculty of Law. We make our boast in the fact that our graduates have gone on to dominate the judiciary and legal practice and even other fields of endeavors. At the last count, I think we had about 70 of our graduates who had been appointed senior advocates of Nigeria. And at this point in time, as I speak to you, we have 3 of our graduates in the Supreme Court of Nigeria, and I cannot count the number of judges we have at the other levels of the court.
Although the serene town of Akoka most readily comes to mind when the name University of Lagos is mentioned, the university in fact has 3 campuses. Idi-Araba houses the College of Medicine, while the Yaba campus is home to the School of Radiography.
College of Medicine has made immense contributions to the healthcare of not only Lagos State in indigenous, but Nigeria as a whole. One can go as far back as Professor Ransom Kuti, who was a foundation member of the college, who conceptualized the idea of primary health care while he was serving and seeing children coming into our emergency room dying, and realized that he needed to go out into the community. And of course, initially we had an outreach clinic in Shomolu, the Gutolu Street Clinic, which was eventually taken over by the Lagos State government. And of course, he conceptualized the idea of comprehensive primary healthcare centers. Of course, the model being in Pakoto, which is currently our outreach program, which is located in Ota. I see the college continuing and aligning with the Vice Chancellor's vision of being a research-driven institution. We already are a research-driven college, and we can do more. And I hope that we will be able to make the college a research hub for medical sciences in the West African sub-region.
As we know, the University of Lagos is properly situated. The capacity to do research for the 21st century and beyond, we have them. And what we are positioned for is that research and development prefers solutions to human problems, to national problems, so that we'll be able to stimulate and drive economic growth and development. And to put it succinctly is to say that we do research for development, research for improvements, research that can support humanity, support society, and support national growth.
In its effort towards converting knowledge to profit, the University of Lagos established the Entrepreneurship and Skills Development Center, which has, since its emergence, successfully partnered with world-class corporations such as Coca-Cola, LG, General Electric, and Lufthansa, among others.
We're training our students to become creators of jobs. We need partnership with multinationals, we need partnership with meaningful Nigerians, and partnership with federal government to begin to develop these students inside the campus so that they can create their jobs.
If national development and community service are crucial goals to be achieved by universities all over the world, then postgraduate education cannot be taken lightly. For it is at this stage that we see the results of the foundation laid at the nursery, primary, secondary, and undergraduate levels. Postgraduate studies commenced at the University of Lagos in the 1965-1966 session under the supervision of faculty deans. Later, a coordinating committee was formed in the 1979 session. and in 1981, a full-fledged school of postgraduate studies emerged.
The School of Radiography Studies of the University of Lagos has a culture of excellence. We want to ensure that the University of Lagos provides that robust and innovative postgraduate programs that will be geared towards ensuring manpower development of the nation. To ensure that we engage with industries, attract funds that will be maximized in our research efforts.
The University of Lagos prioritizes student welfare, and this is perhaps one of the reasons why management has invested heavily, despite severe funding constraints, in providing amenities in the hostels, classrooms, as well as laboratories and workshops. Vigorous efforts have been made to encourage private sector participation in the provision of accommodation on campus. However, as the university of first choice and the nation's pride, there is always severe pressure on available facilities. All the same, management continues to do its utmost in meeting students' expectations.
We actually do have approximately 9,000 bed spaces, not rooms, but bed spaces for our undergraduate students. At the end of the 2016-2017 session, we had about 30,000 full-time students. We had about 9,000, 10,000 part-time students. And we also do have approximately 10,000 postgraduate students.
As part of determined efforts to prevent all forms of unwitting subjectivity in the admissions process, management has adopted the fully computerized Central Admission Policy System, CAPS, which automatically rates prospective students' admissibility.
There is so much pressure from everybody wanting to come into the university by virtue of the fact that they see University of Lagos as one of the best. And like this year in particular, we had above 30,000 that sat for our post-UTME screening, out of which more than 20,000 passed. And there's so much pressure, which is always not palatable. They don't take no for an answer, even when they cannot come in. The facts are obvious, because we have different criteria of admission. We have those that can only come in on merit, those that can come in through the catchment areas, and those from educationally less developed states.
At University of Lagos, principal officers and key faculty have always been committed to keeping up the tradition of excellence as attested to by current students of the university.
University of Lagos is a place to be, truthfully, because I graduated from this school and it was so good. The educational system, the security, and everything. I feel good about the school. I feel proud of the University of Lagos.
That actually affected my life positively, in my social life, everything round.
So I feel if they keep up to that standard, if they keep up to maintaining the structures we have on ground, in the next 5 years, it should not just be one of the best in Nigeria, but also in Africa.
In spite of the challenges, the University of Lagos continues to explore all avenues to excel in teaching, research, and community service. To this end, management is committed to completing its numerous ongoing projects in record time. Of course, a number of projects have been completed in recent times, while a few others are at various stages of development. These include the Scholars Hostel, the University of Lagos Women's Society Hostel, the J.P. Clark Center, the Ato Mbanefo Laboratory, the Daniel Lukoya Laboratory, as well as the renovation of the iconic Faculty of Arts Complex. The ongoing 9-story new library complex will be one of a kind in structure. Similarly, the new postgraduate school building will be a marvel to both sight and mind. For as far as the University of Lagos is concerned, only the best is good enough. But the university desires to have more in terms of funding and infrastructural development, which is why it is making concerted efforts to reach out to friends of the university, alumni, foundations, and organized private sector to support its effort at improving the poor funding state of the university.
University of Lagos is a citadel of learning and has many advantages, including being in the Lagos metropolis. And this has provided it with the opportunity of benefiting from the larger society. We are working considerably on how we can fix the aging infrastructure and provide a mechanism for ensuring that this doesn't happen again. We're hoping to have a way of maintaining in a self-revolving way, thus not needing substantial monies at each interval. I must say that what we're seeking to be is to be one of the top universities in Africa and the world at large. We don't find this impossible. We don't even find it daunting because we were there before. It's a matter of our getting ourselves ready to actualize our dream. This is a university that can seriously contribute to the intellectual capital in Nigeria, the industrial portfolio, and it is poised to help the society at large. When you go through the curriculum vitae of a lot of our lecturers and students, you will see that we have played a preeminent role in the development of Nigeria. What we're saying is let these gentlemen who have benefited, and women who have benefited from this great university, come back and give their own support. If we manage to interest the alumni of this university in the university, in a very short while, we'll be comparable to the best universities in the world.
Personally, I'm going to try and do a lot that I can, not just on the University of Lagos, for any kind of university that I think is worthy of our time and attention. All over the world, universities are funded by various means. A lot of grants come from publicly spirited people, multinationals, corporations, who have a desire to see the quality of education improve in society. Number two, very strong alumni support, very, very strong alumni support. A good example is Harvard, that has a very deep alumni fund. And it's unfortunate that a lot of universities in Nigeria are not tapping on this. Most of them are relying on the federal government, and that is not adequate to support effectively scholarship, research, teaching, lecturing in universities. So I would like to encourage as many people as possible to join this bandwagon to ensure that we can have first-class quality education, not just in Unilag, but all over Nigeria.
Let me have the privilege of inviting you to come and join this great citadel of learning, this phenomenal institution, as we move ahead to reposition Nigerian educational system, being the nation's pride and the university of first choice. I want to assure you that if you partner with us, you will find out that we're serious, we're dedicated, we're focused, and whatever you put in us can only multiply. Thank you for thinking about our university. You are welcome to join the winning team.
I want to invite the friends and alumni of the University of Lagos to partner with us. We pride ourselves as the University of First Choice and the nation's pride. And I know that as you invest into this venture, you invest into the future of the youth of this country and for the betterment of the University of Lagos so that it can rank better with universities all over the world.
There is no doubt that with adequate funding and support, the University of Lagos will emerge a stronger institution that is well placed for the future.